Hello once again. Thank you. Really excited to have to be here with you. And yeah, last time we see each other was probably on the conference itself, and maybe some of you visited my kind of Claude Code webinar as well. And so yeah, here we are. I'm going to share the screen, and I have a few things that I want to that I want to kind of guide you through today. This meeting gonna be mainly informative of like say essentially we're gonna establish like what gonna be the ways of working. We're gonna talk about what essentially yeah what we might expect. I'm gonna give you a few disclaimers and an opportunity to actually shape the course as we go. That's something I'm gonna speak a lot about how customizable we usually do our cohorts based on the specific um, archetype of people that are joining each cohort. So yeah, we will probably start shaping this course right today. And yeah, and I did not want this to be just kind of informative in terms of like, hey, this is our housekeeping rules, this is the structure, like this is like that's some introductions. But maybe if you have time afterwards, we can do the little express session on the proper ways of how to vibe code from the world leading experts. I visited my friends like last week, and I've stolen the prompt from them. So these friends, they 3 years ago, they've sold their startup for 200 million to Snapchat, and now they're on their next Gen AI kind of startup gig. Already, I believe, valued maybe 150 million or something from Sequoia first round, like from the best companies. And so I was like, "Hey guys, okay, so you are actually definitely the top. Like, show me yeah your prompts, like show how you're doing that." And so I've stolen one of the prompts to you today, so maybe we can yeah we can do this as an express course. I did not plan it, to be honest, but yeah, for someone who want to kind of jump in and practice literally today, we can do this as well. But yeah, like for me it's enough talking, so I just want to welcome you once again, everyone. And today's session and the stream gonna be about a few things. So first of all, you're gonna learn the structure of our course. We're gonna kind of go through it once again, and some of the rules of our challenge. Something that we've developed over the few cohorts that we've been successfully launching in the last couple of months. Then, for you also to get to know each other, we will think how many people, like based on how many people gonna be at this point, we're gonna see what's the best dynamics for this gonna be. Rather, it's maybe we're gonna do the breakout rooms, or maybe not. Maybe we just can do someone who want to, unmute themselves and tell the group about themselves and the stuff that they're doing and their expectations. But the most important thing, actually, it's gonna be for me. And for me, I really want your input on how I should adapt the challenge. And so you've probably, yeah, you're gonna see obviously the syllabus of the course. I'm gonna tell you like what are the home assignments going to be about, the ways I usually do these courses, like my rhythm. But equally, I would love for us to spend at least 10 to 15 minutes so everyone can contribute, obviously like via board and via some specific they're going to be a special thing, something like that. Oops, sorry. It's not that. Um, so everyone can share what are your expectations from the course, and what is the no, it's not this again. Here, yeah. So on the board, you're gonna what is expectations, what is your level, and what are the extra requests? Maybe something that you've heard, something that's particular interest to you, but something that you did not see it in the syllabus. For example, in the last cohort, during the cohort was live, there's a Claude bot reemerged. And so people like, hey, let's maybe, add extra lesson here, or maybe just screw that lesson about this thing. Let's learn about Claude bot, or let's deep dive another session on the Claude Code agents. And so one of the things that I wanted for you to acknowledge that this course is going to be highly customizable. And so I would love to kind of tailor made it specifically for this group. Um, yeah, so I will acquire this knowledge today also, and so by default we're probably going to go with the current syllabus, but I would love for us to adapt to the pace of the course and of the pace of each of you. And yeah, finally, as I said, maybe they're going to be a little express vibe coding course from the literally like the top world AI engineers. Like literally, like we're talking IC8, IC9 at Meta. Who knows this notation? It's like director or VP at Meta level, but on the individual contributor side, like someone who doesn't have any reports. They just do coding, but on the VP level. And so these people essentially who have stolen the tips to you today. Cool. So the sprint goals, essentially there are two things. So first is like, oh, that what can we do with AI? That's what achievable. Oh, these are the next kind of couple more use cases that I understood that I can use AI for. So it's about what to build. And then there is a lot about how, because even the basic things like prompting or maybe how to architect the chatbot, to architect the rack system, what's the best way to develop some kind of LLM as a judge concept and something that we're gonna learn throughout the course. So if these words doesn't mean much to you, no, don't worry. Yeah, it's gonna be soon. So I would love to. I would introduce you. Oops, what is that? Uh, I will introduce a few tools. I have a plan in my head of like what I want to share with you, but also please be active and engage and tell, oh, I want also this tool and this tool, and what about that? As I said, last few cohorts we've been changing through the cohort was running because of the pace of the current AI. So I did not want to just be rigid of the things that I've kind of planned before. So capabilities of the AI tools, but also I'm something that I was telling on the conference that I wanted to give you this kind of access to how AI applied in the bigger companies like Deliveroo or DoorDash, which is like $100 billion company, as well as on the frontier AI labs, because I have a few AI research projects like on the side, and I spend a lot of times with the scientists, with the researchers, like from folks like DeepMind. They don't usually build the production services, but they're like thinking of how to essentially achieve AGI. So to bring that perspective, as well as startups, as I've said to you, like the people who are building the startups in HR tech, in edu tech, in marketing, specifically those folks that I've been visiting last week, as like the people from they're building the marketing thing. So yeah, I wanted to give all of that, and I. I think I've messaged this already in the WhatsApp group, but please, I encourage you to be active engagers, and it's kind of on you to take from this course as much as possible. So just kind of ask in the chat, kind of prompt me to do another lesson on something, or just kind of for me to tell you something about concept X and Y. It's just I'm for you here, and we're creating this environment. So please, it's not something like you're gonna see the lessons that you would just gonna blindly copy paste. There's a whole YouTube about this. Uh, I really encourage you to kind of engage with me and with each other. This is something that's probably the best advice that I can give you based on our cohort in historically. Yeah, sorry. Probably like 5, 10 minutes, probably 10 minutes more on the ways of working. And for someone who is very just starting, yeah, if there is any religious kind of like fear aspects of this, like, hey, where should I start with? This is also the idea of this course is just to remove that. So there's a obviously disclaimer that there is a bit more than 30 people, and I understand just looking at your profiles that everyone has a very different level. Uh, for someone, the lessons that I've recorded and I will be recording might be too simple. For someone, it's going to be a bit too hard, and that's fine. Uh, please send feedback to me in private messages and we calibrate. Usually, I do for some specific concepts. For example, when we're building the iChat bots and we're learning the foundational basics of like what is how LM works and how RAG works. Maybe you've heard these ones as well. And so I've usually built the two options of like the one is the easy one and the one is a bit more advanced for people who are like the technical. So, based on how technical you are, yeah, please reach out to me and said, "Hey, I want more of this or I want less of that." But obviously, it's a bit tricky to kind of accommodate to everyone during this cohort. So, I'm trying going to be probably going to be somewhere in the middle on the average. And yeah, if you need me to go other side, happy to do that. Um, yeah, and probably the final ones. Once again, the course is very customizable. So. Probably got it gonna be the last time when I tell this, but I really mean it that we can it's absolutely okay for us to swap some lesson for something more important than you think we should have. One of the things that is not announced, I believe, in the course syllabus, is the live Q&As. I really love those live Q&As where we just come here as a group and just talk. The course mainly going to be self-paced, so we're going to be publishing the home assignments. You're going to have all the manuals and all the videos of me and all the various extra files that I've downloaded for you or I created for you. So you can do this in your comfort of your own pace, rhythm, and home. But uh, I think it's going to be really cool if we're just going to find the proper time-friendly time slot for everyone, or maybe a few of those, and just have a few hour sessions where we just can talk, where it's not through the WhatsApp text or not through the kind of home assignments or something, but it's just, hey, I always thought about this one or also thought about that one. And so that kind of bit more informal way of talking because I really want to share. Yeah, and I have a lot to share. And um, finally, challenge rules. So this course is going to be quite intense in a way that we're gonna aim at least at wrapping it up in 3 weeks and sharing with you two home assignments per week on average. That means that this course going to require some commitment from you, from time commitment. And the idea for us to make it this intense is actually to not to lose momentum. We see that usually after week 3, people start kind of postponing, delaying, and they never get back to in terms of the in the home assignments that they're making. So having said this, of course, resources and course materials are forever with you. All the files, all the lessons, you can watch them and rewatch them whatever you want. And maybe something changed and you cannot, attend or do those assignments in time for the next few weeks. That's totally okay. It's with you. But if you have the availability, please lock in because only when you're building the certain amount of context in your head, in your operational memory. That's you're constantly thinking like every day for a few hours on how you can implement AI in your daily routines or at your work. That's when the mind shift start to change. And there's a one of the things that I'm going to be talking in the first lesson is about some patterns that we want to unlearn. And for that, we need to do this kind of focused effort of just kind of saying, okay, like this is to constantly thinking how I can implement AI and also seeing how other implementing this. So yeah, twice a week material share. Maybe Monday and Friday going to be slightly tweaked. Maybe we're going to tweak it like Wednesday and Sunday or Wednesday and Saturday. So you're going to have at least one weekend for each assignment. But yeah, these are like minor details. In order to kind of complete the assignment, you just need to submit the screenshot or link or whatever the assignment going to be. Sometimes it's just going to be text because for Coursera, for example, I'm going to be asking you to come up with a few applications in your real life and I mean in a personal life or in the work and share it with us. If you have screenshots, that's amazing. If you already tried, if you just have thoughts, that's okay. But essentially, it's just kind of sharing the screenshots slash links slash text. and yeah, putting the hashtag, which is like task and number of the particular assignment. Like it's gonna be like task one, if it's the first meeting about the course, or it's gonna be task two about the some N8N automation, task three about AI chatbots, task four about, I believe, Claude Code, task five about like some various other stuff. As I said, assignments might be not easy. And for those, that's fine if you're gonna say, hey, I did not complete it fully in time. I will do this a bit later, but this is what I've got so far, and that's also fine. For me, it's very important for you to just submitting something, so to showing the progression. Yeah, and as I said, generally the course is self-paced, so everything stays with you. But yeah, encourage you to keep the momentum. Um, Finally, I'm here. Yeah, I believe I've already talked about share the progress. This is incredibly important. It's just like people I think learn from each other more than they learn from me because they're like, oh, that's how you've done this in your business. Oh, that's what you've built for your personal medical OS, like operating systems for yourself. Wow, cool. And something that I never even thought of, like if it's possible building because I don't have this problem. So yeah, please do share. And I'm always here to help. Yeah, like really ask any questions in the chat, in the private messages. My first question, although, going to be, what did ChatGPT tell you? Not because I'm lazy. I'm really happy to respond to you, whatever the time is, and so help you meaningfully. But one of the patterns that I want for you to learn is just to go almost by default to ChatGPT and ask this, or like to Claude or whatever the model you're going to be using. For example, the funny a funny exercise or funny observation that we had after the usually after the Cursor home assignments. People are like, oh, and how I can build in Cursor this, and how I can install that, how I can install this plugin. And the best answer to that is that, hey, ask Cursor. And you go into Cursor and say, hey, I want to do X with you. What should I do? And Cursor is perfectly capable to telling you what you actually should do with itself. So uh, please share and please ask. I'm really here to help. That's the idea that we're creating this environment. So I'm here for you. But yeah, please also make sure that you've asked ChatGPT a few times because that's important. That's they know more about your personal setup, personal context than I do. So it's probably going to be easier and faster if you gonna check with ChatGPT first. If you have any problems, one little tick to kind of trick. If you have any problem, ChatGPT and everything else works perfectly with screenshots. Sometimes if something is not working, I'm just doing the screenshot of my screen. I'm just kind of showing into the context and said, "Hey, this is the error I'm getting. What's up?" Or where should I click here? I don't see the button, and so it does everything for myself. So we should utilize as much the LLMs as it's possible. What is it we ask? So, Jamie, probably going to be some questions of like, hey, I've done the pipeline, I've built the pipeline as you've had in your manual, but it's not working, and I'm having that type of error. Why, like, what it can be? And so I would ask you like, hey, go to ChatGPT and ask please first because it can know more about the context, so you can share more. And if ChatGPT is helpless, I can step in. But usually, mainly into one of the my key ask is just ask me stuff about the personal slash real world applications. Like, hey, how should I build this actually on my work? I understood how I can build it as a pet project, but what do I need to do if I want to implement it in the workspace? Or like, what are the biggest problems that I might be facing? So it's actually any question. Usually those questions about some technical issues, like, hey, my, yeah, I hit the limit, kind of token limit. What should I do next? So usually it's something like that. Uh, but yeah, any question will work. How to submit results? This is great question, Natalia, and this is going to be our next topic exactly here on open questions. Where do I ask, Jamie? It's yeah. To be honest, it's also kind of our next topic. What we usually do is we have the chat groups. Um, we usually use Telegram just because it's way better than WhatsApp. WhatsApp is horrible product. But yeah, for some reason it's still popular, so whatever. And so we're doing the sub threads when you have thread within our kind of channel, our WhatsApp group where we have for questions, another thread for submission of the home assignments, etc., etc. We already have this WhatsApp group, so if you're not in it, please reach out to me slash Rosa, and we're gonna add you. I believe there were a few problems with adding someone, but that's actually the open question to this group because our every cohort works exactly like this. We all live within the messenger because it's very quick and it has separate channels for like some tricks or news that I'm sharing from the industry or these are home assignments or whatever. I'm not sure what's going to be the most convenient for this group. And so we actually have a few options. We just have a one big chat that's going to be when we're going to be spamming each other essentially. It is it's going to be less structured, although it's going to be very, live. We probably might have to we might create a community out of WhatsApp group and also have a sub thread. I believe it's a bit more difficult when in WhatsApp. Finally, we can do of some async chats of like maybe someone going to submit it through email, and maybe we're going to kind of create an email account for home assignments. But that's not. I don't want this because that's not how we share the work with each other. So maybe if the only way for someone to share the assignment through email, I will be asking your consent to for me to go and screenshot it and send it to the group, for example. Um, yeah, I agree with you, Patria. So I actually also think that that's going to be the good thing to have a WhatsApp chat with sub threads. Um, In terms of Slack, it's actually a good option as well. We'll have to think about this one. So I will get back to you like in a few days how we're gonna structure this. But so far, it's like WhatsApp with threads, which is like the most obvious. Slack community, maybe. Yeah. Or Discord. Yeah, Discord. I'm not sure how familiar everyone with Discord, but yeah, that's a good one. Uh, so. What manual? I think I missed something. I don't have any syllabus either. By syllabus, I mean that thing that you've seen on our landing page. You have not received any materials yet. That's that's uh, that's planned. In your calendar, you're gonna see the invite, little invite, that's gonna tell you like the home assignment on Thursday, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be on Thursday. The first home assignment going to go on Thursday, and they're going to be the manual and everything. We're going to be sharing the Notion pages with everything attached to it, video, manual, and a lot of files that I've prepared for you. So I'm going to share it with you. But the syllabus is this essentially. This is something that was presented during the conference. Okay, let me get through your questions. Right now, I just use, yeah, I'm just gonna paste a few other options. So Slack community, maybe Discord. If you have any other ideas, please tell, and I will by the end of the week we will decide what's the best way for this group. Slack, how do you vote for Telegram? Actually, let's vote. I love Telegram. It's like miles better than everything else in terms of, and actually, to be honest, one of our automation um going to be using Telegram probably. We will try to build the chatbot in WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is really bad, so we can do this. But Telegram is perfect for building bots. So yeah, probably I'm gonna. So the action to Dima action item is that Dima to make a voting to launch actually. Slack. Um, where mm, Slack is very easy to use. Telegram can learn snacks. LinkedIn group messages. I believe no, LinkedIn it's going to be very messy. It's not. I believe it's. However, I don't know. I've never tried it for these big group settings, but yeah, I believe this is going to be easier. Uh, Yes, Simon is exactly correct. Telegram is supposed to integrate with AI way easier, yeah, but miles better. And so it's just a couple of clicks for you to create a bot, and another click is to essentially append it to some AI pipeline that you have. So, yeah, um, I love the idea about positioning Telegram as a tool. I love it. We will definitely do this. So, speaking of stuff that we will need this course, and that's going to be the final kind of overview bit on this call about like me telling you a lot of stuff, and so I'm going to shut up very soon. So, what we will need, first of all, no worries if this list looks to you clunky or like big. No worries. We will have for each manual for each home assignment, we're going to have exactly the setup process for everything. So don't you worry, everything's going to be okay. It's just for me to kind of give you idea what tools that we're going to be working with. But as I said before, if you have any other tool that you want to work with, also I'm going to give you the opportunity to vote for this as well. And so maybe there's list going to be expanded. So we will be using NA10 account for no-code pipelines building. Why NA10? NA10 is industry standard. I personally consult a few startups. One of startup that raised 10 million with a valuation of 50 million with their backend fully created on NA10, which is obviously not in probably ideal plus space. You would have want to maybe get something more robust as you grow, but that's a data point. You can raise 10 million if your backend is fully NA10 enabled. And big companies, like the companies, public companies worth like tens of billions of dollars. I know of some of them that I directly consult. They have NA10 clusters within their enterprise perimeter. So NA10, it's like an orchestrator tool. It's really cool and very easy to use, very gentle way of start building AI pipelines with various tools. And essentially, it's like a universal integrator. Maybe some of you heard of Zapier, something like this. It's essentially it's a platform that has accesses to almost every tool that you can imagine. Like it can call ChatGPT, or it can call Anthropic models, or it can call Figma, or Google Sheet, or Google Calendar, or Dropbox, or AWS Cloud, or whatever, Google Console, everything. And then you can, with no code, just by dragging stuff, you can build a really working product which are production ready. So, Telegram account, as I said, we're going to be building chatbots through them because these are the best. Uh, I promise you that I will try to create a maybe separate lesson for building the chatbots in WhatsApp. I think we can do this also with NA10, but it's going to be way more difficult. And usually no one does this, to be honest. So Telegram is something that we're gonna learn, and yeah, that's for someone who've heard about this open claw madness. One of the reasons it went viral, because it is because of the very easy native interface with this Claude bot, which is like a AI assistant, which was made through Telegram. And this company, it has the most successful launch in the history of software because like 200,000 GitHub stars, which is like a how it's like a metric of how engineers are excited about something. And we never had anything like this in the history of humanity. And so it was acquired in a few weeks by OpenAI. And so the ease and simplicity of the interface was kind of brought through audio messages in Telegram. So That's one of the learnings for our course. Um, Personal Google Drive, I believe a lot of you already have it. I think you can go with some other Google Drive providers. Kind of cloud providers. But Google is I think is the most common, and I will show you a few things. And building the chatbot, we're probably going to be building chatbot using Google services. Yeah. So one of the most important parts. I will need you, and we will share all the manuals, but I will need you to top up your OpenAI or OpenRouter. If you don't know what is it, that doesn't matter. I'm gonna explain it. Or Anthropic or your favorite model provider, Grok, whatever you're using, by $5. Uh, we will be generating our own API keys. And this is something that people outside of tech rarely do, but I believe in the new world, everybody should be aware of how to do this. Otherwise, you can left behind. So, $5 is the least is the minimum amount that you can top up. The good news are every run of the our AI chatbot that we're going to create going to probably worth around 1 cent or maybe half of the cent. So $5 if you're not using like the most advanced heavy problems, heavy models, it gonna be it's a lot of money. So you can spend a lot of money quite quickly if you're using the reasoning models like Opus 4.6 or Codex 5.3 on ChatGPT front, or yeah, like Gemini 3.1 Pro. But we will not be using that because they're not industry standards. So I'm going to be telling you which models are being used in production environments in the corporations. And for those models, it's maybe 1 cent for each run. So $5 is a lot. Let me stop here. I see a few questions and then I can get back to reading the list. $5 is just one of these or all of them? Jerry, so $5 is for each for one of them. Sorry, yeah, that's a good question. So for any of those, whatever you choose, whether you live up OpenAI, we're gonna give you the link on the OpenAI console so you can go and register and top up. Anthropic the same. OpenRouter is actually a router, so you just top up once and then you can use any model there. It kind of already has all the ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Qwen from Alibaba, Llama from Meta, and all the other models in the world already plugged in. And so it's very popular right now. But essentially, you need to top up $5 somewhere. Should we already have a very specific product or use case in mind to use it on the tools and tasks, or can we use a smaller random task throughout the course? Uh, so that's definitely going to help a lot if you already have some problems that you want to work with. And so this is something that you probably might want to send either me directly or maybe even better to show everyone on this uh, on the on the board that I will be sharing very soon. And so, yeah, maybe I can then directly tell you, okay, this lesson going to be very important for you, or this is less important. But generally, the syllabus here is designed in a way to show you the key concept, the key uh, universal tools like Cursor, Claude Code, N8N, a few other, this called a powerful AI toolbox. It's it's a shitty naming for just at least three tools that I wanted to show you that I use, for example, daily. So uh, yeah, the we probably won't be changing the actual cases that I will be building in this syllabus. But yeah, if you can tell me what are you up to, I can at least tell you where you should pay more attention, where you should pay less. Um, cool. Cursor app as well. I'm gonna say a few topics on Cursor because that's gonna be our first assignment. and I might say that it's going to be quite punchy. So it's going to be two videos. I've deleted all the previous recordings and I've just re-recorded the two lessons for you yesterday. And yeah, they're quite intense. Uh, because I think my goal is to show you the breadth of various AI cases. And one video in 40 minutes, I'm going to show you at least 8 different use cases of the real world cursor. I 100% sure that in YouTube you can find a whole 30-minute slow video about one of those cases and on another video on another case. But I mean, that's easy. So that's we're gonna work a lot with Cursor, and that's probably going to be one of the wow effects for you. And so there's going to be one video with like a lot of yeah use cases, and then the second video on actually how to do this and how to install all the various connections. But the idea is that I want for you to make Cursor is almost a default app for almost everything. So I'm going to show you how to Google through this, how to clean your laptop through this, how to do the investment research through this, how to study through this, all of that. So free application Cursor is okay. So you can do something with free for sure. I'd encourage you still to invest $20 into the subscription as we go through the course. And if you at some point understand, okay, I'm ready to spend more time here, and I understand what is what are the what are the uh, action that I can do and I'm now capable of doing with this AI enhancement I have. And so if I convince you with the first let's say 10 minutes of the first video where I've plugged in Cursor to my WhatsApp chats that I'm reading emails, I'm asking to summarize some news. If it's somewhat convincing to you, I strongly encourage you to invest $20 because it's going to give you way more token limits and you can use various models for various tasks. I'm going to sharing with you already in the video some of the tricks of like how you should approach the big problems. And for some of the big problems, you need to build plans first. And plans are being built with the chunky models. And those chunky models are not available in the free tier for Cursor. But it's okay. So for you to start, the free version going to be more than enough. But yeah, if my videos are convincing, please upgrade. You will not regret it for sure. So two more things, and I will get back to the questions. Lovable free account, something that maybe we will try even today. You've definitely heard about Lovable. That's a great thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. But we have they recently launched the Lovable for iOS, essentially for mobile apps. But yeah, I will probably just gonna share it with you if someone wants to play with it. So Lovable. So we will try to build the front, yeah, essentially front end engineering through Lovable with Vibe codes. My dream is actually for you with us to get to the final this building full stack AI product. It's something that we usually spend 2 hours on building. But this is a full stack product with design and Lovable, with backend on n8n. They're decoupled. You can iterate on each of them separately. AI enabled, kind of essentially consumer ready product. The only thing you need to do to charge money is to make a Stripe account, and for that we will use Lovable a lot. So yeah, it's. But let's see. Maybe you're gonna say, "Hey, Dima, screw that full stack AI product. Let's spend time on AI coding or something, or AI agents." GitHub account. In a new world, GitHub is your new LinkedIn. And so some of the top labs, they don't even require CV. They're like, hey, show me your GitHub. GitHub is just a repository where it's easy to store code, but actually it's easy to store almost everything. So I believe I would love for each of you to have the GitHub account and to start, building something there. If you go especially with the current AI capabilities, it's very easy. So the funny thing, if you can go to Toby Lutke, who is the CEO and founder of Shopify, he has his own GitHub and he vibe codes like crazy. And he created the tools to scan his medical images from like MRI scans or something like this. He built some automations for his assistants. And so essentially you can look what he is building here. It looks a bit clunky. It looks maybe not very user friendly, but we're gonna get there. My 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 strong conviction that everyone should have this GitHub to actually show the world what you are building. And the easiest way to do this and to store the code is on GitHub. We won't be writing any code at all. Cursor or whatever the thing you're going to be using or Claude Code going to be uploading to GitHub everything automatically completely. You don't need to know the coding or you whatever. GitHub is just it's a surface, and I want for each of you to have this surface. And finally, and I will get back to the questions. Um, we're going to have the um, Claude Code uh, lesson. And Claude Code is not working on the free version of Anthropic. So I can't ask you to kind of invest in all of these various kind of various subscriptions because it's already a lot of money. But I also encourage you to have this one and have little surprise, a little kind of hint of how you can just use Claude for everything that we're going to be building throughout this course. And I'm going to share it in a sec. But generally, this magic for someone who've been on this Claude Code webinar of mine, where you are seeing the multiple agents working in parallel, they're almost kind of passing the information to each other. You cannot achieve this magical moment without Claude Code, and you cannot do this without a subscription. The good thing is, if you have the Claude Code subscription for $20, and then you top up on top of it $5 for API credits because it's slightly decoupled thing. So like one thing is you're chatting with the Claude Code, as in a window, and separately you have the ability to create the keys. So different programs and services can use your account. And so if you have this $20 subscription for Claude Code and you have $5 on top of it, just topped up, you can use it here in number 4. And the cool thing is actually you can use it in Cursor. In Cursor, you can say, hey, I want my free tier, but I want to provide my own API keys, and you can charge me directly on my Claude Code account. So I'm going to share this also as well as we go, getting closer. But there is a way, what I want to say, there is a way for you to kind of save a little bit and just invest only in Anthropic. But yeah, it's up to you. I pay for everything. I have a subscription for OpenAI. I have a subscription for Anthropic. On my work, obviously, it's a max. So I don't know. I spend probably like $600 per month only on Claude Code. I have subscription for Lovable. I have subscription for OpenAI, as I said. Yeah, and I have subscription for N8N as well, but you don't have to. Cool. So these all the tools. Don't you worry. The first lesson going to be about Cursor, and you can start from there, and you can start free. That's it. If I'm convincing, you will upgrade. Let me look at the questions. Why cursor over gravity? Great question. You can use gravity actually. So the cursor, I believe it's more of an industry standard. I believe it's being developed more rigorously. And gravity is obviously it's a Google IDE. And they bought Windsurf for that. It's also good. It have all these features, and so you can use the gravity. It probably is going to be even almost the same UI because all code reductors have the same UI. Someone in our previous cohort was using anti-gravity because it was very native. So you can do this as well. Everything that I'm doing in Cursor has exactly same patterns in anti-gravity. They have the agents, they have ability to install MCPs. They maybe even have a better connections with Google. So if you feel strong about anti-gravity, you can go with it as well. Cursor is just like an industry standard, but you can do everything exactly the same in anti-gravity. How to clean, so Peter asking how to clean your laptop, uh, how to not clean our laptops. That's good. The honest question is that the honest answer is that nobody knows at this point. The only thing you can do if you're building the AI agents autonomously who have the access to your file system, the only thing you can do is just work with the access rights. But sometimes even this is not enough. We are in the state of AI where it's rapidly developing and it's rapidly dangerous also. So unfortunately, there is no silver bullet right now. But yeah, I will share with you how how I do this in personal life and how we do this in corporate setting. It's going to be a bit more complicated with like, but yeah, we'll do that. Um, would you able to cover OpenClaw in this course or maybe talk about it? Katya, yes, I believe we can do this maybe like over the live Q&A. I discourage people from working with Claude bot slash OpenClaw is the same thing because it's horribly wipe coded, 400 files that no one read, 400,000 code uh, strings, rows. Obviously, very successful still, got acquired, but it has so many breaches that I discourage everyone from installing it. Andrei Karpathy, who is one of the godfathers of the modern AI kind of education, at least, head of AI at Tesla, one of the co-founders of OpenAI, he rewritten this OpenClaw and it's now in way better. It's way lighter. And I'm waiting, and I probably maybe in 2, 3 weeks, we're going to have a way better framework to run this OpenClaw agents autonomously. But right now, I don't want anyone to have their autonomous agents running somewhere. As to my previous messages and messages in this chat, you don't want for autonomous agent running somewhere on your local file system. First of all, they charge a lot of money, they burn a lot of credit, but more importantly, they can completely delete and erase the stuff from your laptop. So I will cover it. We're probably going to cover it during live Q&A. You can nominate this and we can talk about this. That's going to be perfect. But I probably won't be doing the lesson unless we have the good framework for that. Like we as humanity. I bet it's probably going to be good in a month. After our cohort ends, I still would love to kind of share with you stuff. And so if I'm going to be recording more lessons, especially on OpenClaw, I'm going to be sharing with you as well. So you might expect kind of hearing from me even after our finish end. I'm really, really committed to this community of ours. At some point, please can we cover local hosted SLMs, open source with rental access to giants, pros and cons? It's an incredible, Simon. It's an incredible point. And uh, with this, I actually would love to copy paste it here. And nope. Oh, I can. Oh, I cannot. I cannot copy from here anything. Okay, I will do this with my with AI. I'm gonna screenshot this one. So I think that's a great segue for us to start inputting into our challenge. So Simon, 100%. The hot take that I see, the paid APIs are cheaper than the free open source models. And I'm going to tell you why, and we're going to go into details there, but it's very uh, it's yeah, it's very interesting. Um, give me the text from the screenshot. Sorry, I'm in this Zoom setting. I cannot directly copy paste it, so I will ask to do that. Um, SLM, I believe it's Sam was referring to small language models.
Yes.
Thanks, Zima. Seems very similar UI to Cursor and it's free at the moment, but happy to learn Cursor as well. Cursor is also is also free, but I believe you cannot use anti-gravity for free long enough because very soon you're gonna hit the token limit, exactly as in Cursor. Cursor you can use for free, but then at some point it's gonna say, "Hey, you wasted 90% of your token limit for today, or even for this month. See you next month, or you can top up." But yeah, feel free to stick with anti-gravity. It's if it's something that you like more. So I've given you all the context. Now it's time for me to get something from you and to get your request. And I promise that's going to be the final time when I'm saying I really would love to tailor made this for this cohort, for your specific requests. That's why we're keeping our cohorts very tight. uh, Usually 30. We actually hit the limit pretty quick here. Um, and we have a few cohorts kind of running in parallel, but we never make them big in order to for me to have almost the tailor access for each of you. So please, 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 the next 15 minutes going to be very important. So before I go into this ask before me going to contribute for extra requests, this is a tech cloud of things that we're going to be doing. It's a like a funny thing to kind of look at and just think of like these are the concepts that I'm going to be or like tools that I'm going to be very aware after I exit the course. Yeah, it's definitely not exhaustive. So way more gonna be there as well. So automations, Lovable, Cursor, what the hell is MCP, how to properly vibe code, maybe even today, how to best do the context engineering, which is way more important than prompting. What are the evals? So I'm gonna be muting, and I'm really sorry. The Rack chatbot, how to build it, what are the conceptual, what are the foundational concepts, what are the most common mistakes. One of the company that I've been working in blew up 1.5 million bucks in 3 months and did not launch the chatbot. So consider this a 1.5 million worth lesson that I'm going to tell you. Claude Code, but many, many more. If I pay for Anthropic today to use as LLM, would that cover everything else? It probably going to cover. It probably going to cover everything else, I believe. Of course, you can't you can't you NA10 is going to be okay for us. It's free. Lovable is also free. So I think yes. The open question for me is I need to check it whether you can use in free version of Cursor the API on the Claude. I believe the answer is yes, but it's going to be a bit more difficult for you to set up. Like I mean, extra 15 minutes that you need to spend. So you will probably gonna spend $20 for a Claude Code subscription, but you need the API still, and you cannot create the API if you don't have the yeah if you don't have the separate kind of little money bulk sitting on top. So what I would encourage you to do is to uh, either not do anything right now and just see what you like, because we once we're gonna go to NA10 where we start using various LLMs, you can actually try some of them, and yeah. So maybe you can not even you can you shouldn't even maybe making the subscriptions for the OpenAI or Anthropic yet. You need to put money on it, like $5 as a separate thing. But subscriptions might can wait. Sorry, it's a long way of me saying that it's probably gonna solve all the problems, but it's not in super necessarily right now. And so you can just start slowly and decide as we go. Cool. So now I will ask you to follow this link and we will see it in silence, or maybe not in a complete silence. And you just drop things here on the on this desk. And things that I would love for you to commit to is the extra requests. Something that you did not hear me talking about, although I will try to be like very detailed here. Extra requests for resources, um, tools, concepts, any other ideas that you would love to explore. Yeah, like incorporations, open source versus closed source slash paid APIs. So that's one. Uh, Maybe something of like my expectations. Ideally, if you can put your name in, by default it's anonymous, so maybe you can just put your name underneath. My expectations from the course, from the sprint. By the way, this link gonna be live throughout the whole course, and so you can go and update your request or something in real time. But right now we're gonna be doing the first dump. So some requests, my expectations, and you can. That's going to be very useful for me if you can also point out what is your current level. Like, what is your level of proficiency with AI? Like, what things do you use? Like, I use ChatGPT daily, or I don't use at all, and I don't have the coding experience, for example, or I use everything and I have all the API keys, and I already developing something within my company, and I want to have a bit more hardcore, advanced stuff. And these are the topics that I would love to discuss. So, actually, everything that gonna help us as a group. And the only way, and the only reason why I'm doing it right now, just essentially locking time on the conference call, is because otherwise it's very difficult to collect the feedback because this link gonna get lost somewhere. But now, yeah, let's spend like 5 minutes of like just typing. I think you might be fed up of me talking by this point, so I will go a bit on the radio silence here, and just mainly observing the stuff that you're uh, typing. And if you have any questions, please shoot them here in the chat, and I will be answering them. But yeah, I I will give you a pause of from me talking. If you have any questions, please drop them. I'll answer them. If not, just let's regroup in a couple of minutes. And I expect that everyone to drop something because yeah, that's how we do the great course and great product together. just probably a few more mints. But honestly, what I'm reading is absolutely gold. And I can assure that almost everyone here that we're going to be doing exactly that people asked. So I'll try to summarize the big bullets first to address them, and then maybe have a we'll address them kind of in text maybe or somehow throughout the course. But yeah, what I'm reading is exceptional. Thank you so much. Wow. Yeah. So I will be reading all of this in a lot of details after our call. But that's so good. I see there is a huge appetite to go and wrap a lot of ideas in some in some shell of like AI of like how can I automate the decision making, or how can I build some coaching, or some how can I build some system for this idea, for that idea. And yeah, that's exactly actually that we what we're going to be doing. Um, Less sure on things that how we can productionize something for mobile application, but I will share of course with you like a link or so of how I would do that. We already have solutions for this already, but yeah, that these things of actually building in hands-on, I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of hands-on. Probably going to be a bit overwhelmed after the first lesson, and that's and that's intentional. I didn't want to just have this fluffy YouTube video, like 40 minutes of the person who is just writing the course or rule or something like this. That's going to be pretty intense. I can guarantee with you. And so there are a lot of questions that I probably gonna defer to our live Q&A of like, how can you uh, s- scale the AI culture within the company or something like this. So I can, I don't know the answers because I believe, quite honest, no one knows, and everybody's just trying it. So early in days still. But I will tell you what I've seen is working, what are not. Somebody said that their product manager. Yeah, the funny thing is there was a performance review after the, as always, like the annual performance review, and my friend, who is director of product management at Meta, he told me that the insight is that uh, starting this year, the expectations for product managers are to commit code and to build actually the tools and commit diffs, as they call it, and to commit PRs, which is pull requests, which is like how you push the code into the code base, which is quite spooky because, but that's exactly what's happening around the world. We have exactly the same thing for managers. Today, I'm going to share this if someone is interested, this link. But today, there was a news about Accenture linking the promotions to AI tool usage. They're going to be tracking the logins into AI tools, which is a stupid metric, but still. Um, I did not find almost anyone who obviously yeah there's a lot of about the privacy and etc. I did not find almost anyone. I believe there was one person who is like very hands-on and very techy, at least for those who've been saying. Yeah, there is a uh, yeah who've used the APIs before and everything, and so it looks like uh, 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 we don't have a lot of this kind of super technical savvy people. No, no, not savvy, but like technically AI advanced in this kind of agent building, which is a good thing. It actually levels up us a little bit, so I can spend more time on this, say, kind of business and management concepts and stuff like AI for executive kind of decision making or something like this. It's something that, yeah, this is the thing that we can spend more time on. Yeah, thank you so much. Should I build Soul into an agent? Um, AI content creation. That's actually, if there are going to be enough interest, we can actually create a pipeline. The pipeline, the workflow that's going to be using some of the AI tools to create the content. That's how I've been creating context at some point. Was a one agent was writing the post from my ideas that I was narrating through audio messages in the Telegram, and then it was creating a post. Another agent was creating the picture of it. And then it's going to send me the email where I can say, okay, yeah, that's I approve it, and it's going to go and auto post it to my LinkedIn, for example. But yeah, if it's interesting, we can do the lesson on this as well. I have up and running workflows for this. Thank you so much. So I see, yeah, I see people want to build stuff like real build. I did not see anyone asking a lot about the foundational bits, like, hey, how the LLM's working, because I understand that it's probably not something that's going to immediately help you. So in our lessons, there's going to be a little bit of a theory embedded within those lessons of like maybe 5-10 minutes of like, hey, by the way, this is how why LM hallucinate, and this is why how you can fight it. And this is what exactly you need to do in your chatbot, for example, to fight the hallucination. So, but I still strongly believe that some of the theory aspects are important to understand how the world works, but everything else is going to be very hands-on. I can guarantee you with you. Good. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah. So drive building. I will try to structure everything that's been here into a narrative of like all these big buckets and publish it back to you. And so that's going to be our snapshot of like what the cohort wants. And then we're gonna, as we go through the course, we're going to be ticking and understand, okay, this we already have more or this we have less of. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, the Rosa asking me to do a little update on the our group. So we still obviously going to get back to you on how we're going to structure this. Yeah, we remember we have where is it? It's here. Yeah, what are the ways? But it will be really cool if you're gonna write a few bullets about yourself because we do the random coffees and they are randomized by ChatGPT. ChatGPT essentially reading all your kind of bios and decide which people are the most relevant to each other. I'm going to share you the little hack that I use constantly. So when I don't feel like texting because I I hate texting and typing, I I have a tool for this right now that called Aqua Voice, which just kind of which I can trigger the button and it just starts transcribing whatever I'm talking about. Yeah, here. But what I noticed that embedded into Apple, the Apple transcription is very bad. So what I would ask you to do is to go to ChatGPT, the free version. I believe is fine. I don't remember whether free version or sorry, or Claude Code or whatever you have, and just start recording yourself. Gemini also works, and I just use that as a transcription. So I'm just going to spend like a 2 or 3 minutes describing what I'm doing, what are my expectations, also what is my areas of professional interest, like what I love, what I'm interested in, and then I'm gonna hit it, and it's gonna transcribe it, and then I'm gonna just copy paste it into the WhatsApp group. And so this is how I am saving like hours per day of not typing and but just talking. The tokens per second when you are speaking, 4 to 5 times the speed of tokens per second is 4 to 5 times more than to typing. The medium of the language of our speaking is, yeah, 4 to 5 times faster than for just typing. So please make use of it. Just open the ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you have. Just click record. Just tell us about yourself a little bit, and then copy paste it back to us. Stop typing. Stop texting. It's not yeah, it's outdated. I would say. One thing that I wanted to address, two actually things. Somebody asking why I'm pushing so hard for Cursor versus Gemini slash Claude. That's very important. Cursor is not a model. Cursor is the application, like a physical uh, application. It's like that. It has buttons in it. It's like it's called ID, which is essentially the program where it's very easy to write code, meaning that there is a big code editor and there is a file system, and you can write a code and you see what files are you changing. That's how engineers were always doing that. But what you're going to see even in the first course, and something that you've seen on the conference, is you're going to have it, you're going to use it for your daily tasks as well. Do you remember us? Sorry. Do you remember us talking with this virtual board of directors? If you remember, I've been just saying, hey, like, go into the folder WBRs, I believe it was, and then let agents from agents kind of uh, come up with the key questions. So something like that. Yeah, you remember it was a bit more difficult, and so it was a bit more complex. uh, I was sharing with you the rules of like how they're doing that. Every agent was kind of it's a demo version, but like every agent was kind of described in a way of like, just plain text, plain English of like, hey, this is the questions that these people asking frequently, and this person asking these questions, and then I was like, hey, agents, chat to each other and based on the file that I gave you, what are the cool insight that you come up with? So, Cursor is that it's just a shell that is very easily plugged into your file system. And here, if you're gonna see it, let me close everything so it will not distract you. So here you can see the model that I'm choosing. And in fact, Cursor can work with any model. By default in free version, I don't believe you have this selector. You have like predefined models, which are probably cheapest ones, like the cheapest GPT, the cheapest Claude, which is Haiku. But if you have this pro version, you have this ability to choose between models. So the difference between Gemini and the Cursor is like it's different entities, and so I want for you to for you to leverage the tool. So we obviously so our one of the lessons going to be about Claude, and we have the Claude application as well. So this is exactly the line that you're going to see on the in your application or in the internet. But uh, I will also show you how to work with their cowork, which is also an application. It goes beyond just the search bar or slash this kind of chat bar, because cowork is something that you it's a Claude Code for managers or the Cursor for managers. It's it's also the separate application that has Claude under the hood, but it's designed to work with Excel files, with general with files that you have. So we're going to have the lessons about this as well. So don't you worry, you're going to see all of this. We're also going obviously going to have the lesson about Claude Code, uh, but this is the distinction between the models providers and the actual applications that you need to install. And in the course home exercise, you'll need to actually go to the Cursor website uh, and download it. So no, it's not agents. Sorry, not this. Cursor, come on. Cursor download. Yeah, you're gonna go here and you're gonna download whether you have a Mac or Linux or Mac OS. Yes, and by the way, the Claude Code they've created the co-work for Windows maybe like 2 weeks ago or something. So those of you who have Windows and want to work for with Claude Code for managers on your laptop, you can also download it. The only thing I'm afraid is that the Claude Co-work doesn't work on the free version. So if you want to have the all the toolings that Cowork can give you, you need to have the subscription there. So these are different things. And so on the Cursor, you're gonna on the first on the first lesson, you're gonna already dig into working with a lot of various files. Somebody asked about like, hey, where can I learn, where can I get the manuals or lessons materials? And so I wanted to show you this. Why am We're gonna have this Notion web page, and for every task, we're gonna have the clickable link that you're gonna click on, and they're gonna be like, this is the concept of the lesson. This is the embedded video. These are this how many minutes, hours you need to pour into that. These are the useful links. These are the files that you would need to download if or these are the prompt examples, something like this. So you're gonna have this, and so you can always, and that's gonna stay with you forever. So all the recordings gonna be here, all the materials gonna be here. I've prepared a lot of stuff for you, like with actuals kind of, with actual prompt examples that I use, the prompt examples that the big companies use. Yeah, maybe some of you would love to stay and to have some toying with the way the people in the Gen AI startups work with prompts. Also, I'm going to share with this. So a lot of stuff is going to be here, but separately, I'm going to be spamming you with the news and various kind of interesting papers. And some of them, by the way, I do want for you to also know that um, alert. I'm going to give you the right now the tip, really good tip that you probably never heard of before. Some of the things that I'm going to be telling you are very basic, and you should not be confused by simplicity of these things. I understand that some of you want to build this kind of AI workflows and orchestrate them, and we're gonna get there. But the reality is, I don't know any big company that use really a lot of AI, the agents orchestrations under the hood. They use agents by themselves, like the agent that just do coding or agent that is just doing the supply kind of support function or something like customer care. But the system where one agent speaking with each other and then another speaking another system, all like with like 10 more agents, they all work in research labs right now. Good. I know a few companies. One of them is Revolut. which is like the biggest, essentially the biggest startup in Europe, is a fintech, which use the team of four different agents under the hood, under the production. If you write the customer care, like, hey, it's a banking, how much money did I spend last month, or like on food? One agent converts this request into the code, goes to query the database, get the results back. Another agent's kind of wrap it up in a text, and another agent review it and send it to you back. So this is the almost the only really nice large scale production service that I know of that working with a lot of agents orchestration. So some of the things that I'm going to be telling you about are going to be quite simple. And one of these things is actually that. Let me find the link to this, sorry, the name of the paper that I would love to share with you, and that's important. That's important. Sometimes we're going to be looking at these papers as well. So it was um, one sec. Yeah, it's here. So this is a really cool paper from Google, quite recent from December. And it has some math. Oh, no, it actually doesn't have any math. Uh, but this is the actual kind of insight that you can take with yourself from this meeting as well. Prompt repetition improved non-reasoning LLMs. And if you are going to be interested in how the actual LLM work under the hood, like what is the transformers are, is actually the thing that gave this revolution of AI, and that's why we're all here. In 2017, they created this architecture that kind of exploded the AI field. And so if you want to learn about a bit about like the nitty-gritties of this, I'm more than happy to tell you this and maybe have a separate live Q&A about that. But what these guys are showing, if you want to ask something, especially if it's a big prompt for ChatGPT or Claude, the best thing you can do if you're not using non like reasoning LLMs, and reasoning are it's the if it's when you're clicking like thinking, for example, in ChatGPT. In free version, you don't even have this. In Claude Code, it's like Opus, which is like reasoning model. It's all you also don't have it in the free version. So if you're not using the extended heavy models, the best thing you can do is just to copy paste the prompt and send it like this. So you've written the prompt and then you just copy paste it and send it. And so there is a really interesting, funny kind of mathematical explanation about why it works like this. But yeah, if you're just going to be duplicating your prompt and sending essentially two sets of the same text in one message, uh, I think it's 74% improvement. Like on 74, yeah, 47 out of 70 tests wins. So I believe that's exactly like 70 something percent of improvement. So some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you are like examples like this, tips like this, and I will be probably dropping them in the channel. But some of them you also might find it on this web page. Um, cool. So thank you, Peter, for dropping the archive link. The Notion I will drop here, but uh, we will be all sharing this with you in the WhatsApp channel. Maybe we will probably share maybe once or twice with our email list just to make sure that everyone received it. But emails is very difficult kind of medium to support, and so I would encourage you to go to our uh, to the to the channel that our group gonna pick, whether it's WhatsApp with threads, Slack, Discord, Telegram, or something like this. I'm thinking we're all more or less leaning towards this or Telegram. I understand that we don't want to create a kind of lot of new, more kind of applications on your phone and just gotta log them in there. But it's for your own benefit. If we can structure the course and the materials in a way that you can always find them and you will not be overwhelmed by one huge like 100 unread messages because it's only one group, it's going to be better for you. So it's just like learning from mistakes from the past. Um, sorry, Jamie. Yeah, Jamie jumped when we're getting to the good stuff. I tried to actually I still have something to tell you because I didn't want to for this meeting to just be just a course introductions. Maybe we can still do some of the vibe coding stuff or whatever. But let me stop here. So I believe we discussed how the course is working, what is the syllabus. I've gathered all the requests from you. I will read it out loud, like for myself and structure it. Uh, I've encouraged you to participate and tell me what do we need more or less of. Please engage, please share. We're gonna get back to you of how we're gonna structure that. And yeah, very soon on Thursday, we're gonna send you the first home task. Please don't be overwhelmed. The first uh, video me showing you 8 various business related use cases of how I'm using Coursera on a daily basis. And then it's going to be a bit more technical. So, okay, how you actually going to set this up for yourself. But this task going to be very creative, meaning that there is no specific pipeline that you need to recreate. Almost every other lesson going to be like, hey, you need to build that so you understand the tool. And so then you can wrap your ideas around this tool and create, for example, chatbot for yourself or coaching chatbot that you can speak with. But for this specifically, it's me sharing with you all the stuff that you can do, and then you thinking what you actually can do with that and sharing with us what you're going to be trying, what are your pilots, what are your pet projects going to be, and me helping you along the way. So let me stop here. Let me pause and let me answer any questions that if anyone if anyone have those questions. And I appreciate we already, 90 minutes in and it's a marvelous retention. So thank you so much. We kind of lost like 2 people and both of them apologized because they're jumping to another meeting. So let me stop here. I'm very happy to answer the questions. And if some of you have maybe like another 30 minutes, I can go with you to a length and yeah, maybe do a little bit of a vibe coding and learn the first pattern of the vibe coding, the most important pattern of vibe coding, and sharing this prompt that I've stolen for you. Hit plus if you're going to be interested in staying a bit afterwards. I'm very happy to stay with you. What's the next step for us? Going through the materials on the Notion page. Can you recap? That's good one. That's a good one. The next step is just wait for Thursday when we're gonna send you the link with the first home exercise that's gonna be published on Thursday. Uh, Probably between now and there, I'm gonna get back to you with some voting on how we should actually structure our space. And that's it. But for now, nothing that you need to be, actively thinking today or tomorrow. But starting Thursday, that's going to be intense. Yeah, hell, it will be included in the recording, so you feel free to drop. Vibe is vibe. Jerry, there's something also that you're gonna see on the recording, so don't you worry. The most important stuff that we've learned today is about the course, about engagement, some of the tricks about duplicating uh, the um, the prompt. Um, cool. So with this, we might say that it's officially over. We can switch off Uh, Patra, thank you so much. Thanks for attending. And yeah, we'll see you soon. See you soon. Jerry, see you soon. And I promise I will think about the LinkedIn group messaging. Although I'm not sure whether it's gonna be our solution, but I at least gonna explore it. I never thought about it. Cool. So this vibe session gonna be hands-on. So you need to do stuff and repeat after me because that's the only way we can learn. Um, with this, how many people do we have left? We have a few Fireflies recorded notes, but generally there is a lot of people still on the call. Cool. Let's do some vibe coding. Um, that's going to be cool. That's going to be very simple, but this is something that a lot of people are missing. Today we gonna build a one pager for what for ourselves. And to be honest, it's a silly task. It's a silly task. You can do whatever you want. You should do not like one pager, not about yourself, but about something. It's going to be quite easy. But I want for this to be already hands-on exercise on a day one, even if we did not meant to do that. So what we're going to do, I would encourage you to find your CV or download the CV somewhere over the internet, because we're going to be creating the one pager about yourself and publishing it. We're going to register the GitHub account. That's going to be like 2 minutes. We're going to register Lovable account. That's going to be 1 minute because all of them are free. And then we're going to talk a little bit with ChatGPT. The free version is fine. And then we're going to do this magic, which called the spec-driven development. This is actually the way to do vibe code. And then we're going to deploy it. And this is the before we go there, first of all, I want to check for you that you're able to go and log in. You can hear me and watch my screen, and also maybe do something in parallel, maybe split your screen, or if you have two screens, it's even better. But yeah, that's essentially going to be hands-on. So it's not a lecture. You obviously feel free to kind of stick around, but it will be better if you can do this yourself. So the biggest problem of vibe coding is people try to one-shot it. They go and like, hey, build something. If you open the Lovable or whatever the service, you're like, tell us what you want to build. And you're like, oh, I want to build the application, or like the front page for my website. And then it builds you something. And then you're like, oh, and I want to like these colors, and I want that unit here, and I want that animation, and it builds something. And next time you said, oh, and by the way, can you give me this page or like do that thing? It builds it, but it may already be breaking up something else because AI is really terrible in iterative updates, because AI doesn't what they do, call in software engineering the refactoring. Something like look at the code that they've already had, all the project, and think, okay, if I knew everything about I know before and I have new inputs, how should I refactor from scratch? Maybe something fundamental I need to change so I can unlock the further improvements. And that's how software engineers working. But AI doesn't do that. They just produce slop. They kind of append the logic, just glue it to each other, to together those blocks until it's broken. And so the best thing you can do to start vibe coding, actually for every exercise, is to start with a plan. And this is the prompt that I've stolen to you from the actual console, from Claude Code, from the CTO of the startup, the CTO who sold his previous company for 200 million, and his current company is already worth like 150 with Sequoia and everyone. So like he's cool. What I'm saying is like he's legit. And so what you can see here is from Claude Code. And so he uses something that you probably doesn't know what is like it's called Ask User Question Tool. But essentially, Ask User Question Tool is just a wrapped up prompt which says, I'm going to be asking you questions, me as AI agent, until I understand what you want. And the prompt is exactly about this. The way they're building the soft, they're like, hey, I want to build that feature or this project. Then interview me in detail. You can skip this Ask User Question Tool about literally anything. Technical implementation, UI design, customer design kind of trade-offs. Make sure the questions are not obvious because sometimes AI might be start generating those questions that are stupid. And only after you're understand everything and you're good, only then generate me a spec, which is like a big document with description of the project. So this is the crucial thing, and the best AI engineers, and that's what AI, the head of Claude Code, the creator of Claude Code, Boris Chorny, he says that the best engineers are spending kind of days of designing the stuff that they want love to vibe code. They talking with the code agents. They kind of updating all the knowledge. They kind of the agent asking them questions. They updating all of that until at some point they're like, okay, we're done. The document is ready. So the AI agent kind of understands everything. It feels like at least he's concerned. He's certain in it. So now, and only now, I go, hey, another AI agent. This is the description spec. Now build it. And the funny thing that in this case, you actually can one shot the huge project because the plan is the most crucial part. And one of the things that I'm going to be sharing on the first lesson also is that you should spend more money and bigger models on building plan versus on execution. So your classical approach going to be, let's say we're using anthropic models. They have three models: Haiku, which is like the cheapest and the simplest; Sonnet, which is like the average and for daily usage; and Opus, which is like the biggest and the heaviest. Yeah, like in ChatGPT, it was like ChatGPT Lite and ChatGPT Pro. Yeah, like ChatGPT Thinking. And so you're using the top model, top tier model, let's say Claude Opus, the most expensive ones, to build this plan, and then switch the model to a more to a less expensive, to Sonnet, for example, and just say, okay, now do and build that stuff. This is the paradigm shift of how you should be thinking about kind of coding, vibe coding as well. And so that ridiculously simple prompt, it actually changes a lot how the people are working and how I work and how everybody works. So now, uh, can you please hit pluses once again for those who are ready to go with me and vibe code actually? Because I will be counting those pluses and understand at which pace we're going. Because after each step, I was like, I'm gonna be like, hey, who is ready? Please hit plus, and so I'll understand what is the number of people that I would love to that I need to account for. So it's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, cool. Seven people, and it looks like half of our team gonna be building, half of our team gonna be observing. That's perfect. So what we will do? We're gonna first do the first three things, and we're gonna do them in quickly and not even thinking too much about it. So first of all, if you're on a laptop, please find your CV somewhere. Because the way we're going to be building, we will try to create a one pager about yourself. If you don't have a CV, you can probably go to LinkedIn, uh, to LinkedIn, and just save this page. Like you have this some experience, so you're gonna hit Command S or Control S, it should warrant, sorry, the savings. And for example, let's say, yeah, HTML only. And you're gonna save this page. That's gonna be uh your CV. Maybe it's even better to kind of click on the expand experience. Denise, yes.
Actually, on the previous page, if you go backwards, there is an export PDF function.
Yeah.
So if you go
Oh,
back, hit resources
yep.
in the
Yeah,
top
I
of the
remember that.
page.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's actually a pretty good thing. So I believe it's somewhere here, three dots, save to PDF. Nice, perfect. Thanks, Denise. That's great. Cool. So uh, please hit the plus once you have this PDF uploaded, sorry, downloaded, or you have a CV. Let me do the same thing for myself. One, two, three, four. So we'll have to wait a few more. For those who've just done it, please go to GitHub. If you already have it, that's fine. But essentially, you need to sign up. It's quite easy. Yeah, you can just sign up with Google, and that's gonna fine. We just need an account. So once you're ready, just go and sign to GitHub and do the same thing with Lovable. We need just this kind of sign on, maybe Google sign on or whatever. We just need those accounts. Free is absolutely fine. So, three things. Download this PDF, sign up into the GitHub. Let me just maybe drop this link here and sign up to the Lovable, which is here. And now, once you have all these three things, and I'm going to go silent for a sec. When you have all three things, so you have the PDF from LinkedIn or CV, and you have GitHub account and Lovable, please hit enter. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, I think we can go now. So uh, now you will go to this Notion page that I'm just sharing. I'm gonna send you the link. And you already have the prompt here. What you need to do is to kind of click copy, go into your ChatGPT or whatever the model you're using, copy paste it, and you need to upload the um, your PDF. So you uploaded your CV and copy pasting the prompt. What it's going to be doing, it's actually going to be start asking you. So I've kind of with this prompt, I kind of recreated this prompt from here, which is like ask me as many questions as needed. But this prompt is already tuned for like building the web pages. But it's 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 not as sophisticated. And so yeah, once you hit enter, it's gonna kind of understand everything, and then yeah, it lay out all the kind of assumptions that it has, and then it's start. I believe it's gonna start asking questions. First questions, yeah. So please go here. This is the link. You will find, once again, you're gonna find the markdown code block. You can just copy it and then yeah, just chat with the chat GPT for a while. You can just, copy paste the actual letter or the actual example. So sorry, the actual statement. It's gonna be producing only one question per time. There might be a slight chance that it's gonna go beyond like the question number five, and at this point you might say, "Hey, that's it. I think you know everything that you need to know. Everything else, assume yourself, because that's just learning purposes. So you don't need to kind of spend a lot of time here. But I would expect that it's going to take you at least 5 minutes to kind of go through, or like maybe 5 minutes to get you all through the kind of key questions, maybe from the first five. Uh, so yeah, go to ChatGPT or whatever free model is going to work good. Append PDF and just answer a few questions there. In the previous cohort, some of the people were stuck on like question number 10. And so I don't want for you to have this. Just if you feel like the questions are stupid already, you say, hey, assume everything yourself. Send me the document. And yeah, as I said, like please hit plus once you're ready. Yes, please. You should attach CV in your first prompt because it's in the prompt that actually says start, read the upload CV PDF, produce output, and then produce questions. So Matt hit plus. Wow. So ChatGPT already generated for you everything. What are the next steps is actually how we connect Lovable and how you vibe code through Lovable. And we're going to be vibe coding through specs, through GitHubs. So we're going to upload this file into the GitHub right now, just drag and drop. And then we're going to connect Lovable to our GitHub account. We're going to create the Lovable blank project, although people saying, oh, you need to write something and start, but just like with first shot learning, kind of first shot we're going to be asking Lovable to create a completely blank project, like white page. And then we connect our GitHub and we're going to say, okay, go and see the spec and recreate it from scratch. Hopefully, we're going to have enough kind of free tokens. I believe it's 5 per day. I believe it's going to be enough. I'll wait a few more pluses once they're gonna produce. They eventually they're gonna produce something like this. Website specification, personal one pager. So I have only two pluses. So once we have at least five, six, we're gonna go to the next step, and that's basically gonna be the pre-final. And yes, Natalia, we're gonna be going to the spec into GitHub, but I'm gonna show you how to do this. If you can do this yourself, that's perfect. But I can do this. I can do this as well. I'll actually would kind of encourage you to wait a little bit before me showing because it's very easy, but the first step is important. Okay, so two pluses right now. Just waiting for a few more. Henry, and what's the why did you share the question number four?
I was just giving an example. I'm going through I'm using Claude
Uh-huh.
and it's asking me questions about building this site.
Hmm.
And it seems to forget the answers that I gave and then ask me the question again. So it like asked me about the visual style and I told it, and then it asked me the next question. And then it forgot the answer about the visual style.
How do you know that
And
it's
then it asked me
forgotten?
about,
It repeated the same question?
correct.
That's not expected. So sorry for that. But because it's kind of it's the educational kind of format right now, and we're not doing the proper thing. Because for proper thing, I would probably ask you to have a proper model for that, and so it won't definitely going to have things like this. It won't forget at all. But for that thing, I would just kind of go encourage you to say, "Hey, assume yourself everything, and everything that you have." But that's very that's very odd. So if you're within the same session, yeah? So it's just like one by one the questions that are going there.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it asked me the same question like three times.
You can sometimes I just like to speak with them and like, hey, why are you asking me the third time? So maybe it's something off there. But that's weird. So he asked you question number four several times already. It's like about your personal image. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's he asked me about the visual style like several times and in a couple different ways.
Oh,
Um,
but that's okay, actually. That's okay. So there might be a problem that he probably asking too much about visual styles, but visual style he asked me also multiple times about visual style, like how do you want to position it? Which colors do you want to have? It's my bad prompt. So it's
Mm,
probably not a Claude. It's just him being overly obsessed about the visuals and have various questions. And you can actually, you'll not see it right now. But once in produce spec, it's gonna have a lot of various details that you probably not even thought of, like typography feel, like how this should feel like. For somehow it kind of comes up with these things. So just kind of trust the process, I believe, in this case. Just
okay,
keep answering.
got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Natalia, GPT is asking a lot of questions as well. So m mine asked only five. I've seen the examples when they're asking like 10. So if you're by that time you're still answering questions, say, please assume everything else yourself and just give me the final spec. Thanks, Dennis. Nice. Eight questions. Like Claude is very, very deliberate. Um,
Dima, I will probably just will observe the rest of the
that's
exercise.
okay. That's okay. But by the way, you're literally done the hardest part. So if you just say, "Hey, give me the spec," everything else is literally drag and drop. I promise you. So maybe you can just lock in with
It's
us a little
okay.
bit more.
I just afraid to share my confidential information as well. So
Oh, okay.
it's
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. By the way, the website that you're gonna just create, you can then completely demolish in the next second. So there's should not be a big problem, but yeah, I understand. If there are any risks at all, just let's not even do that. Cool. Please don't pass MD file into Lovable, Henry. So I mean, this is the good way of doing that, and actually, it's the easiest way to do that, and that's the shortcut. And I mean, you can do this. Ideally, you would do it differently. And this is how I was going to show you like what is the proper way to do this. But something that you have done or you're doing, it's also working. But let me show you the different way on like how kind of I encourage people to do that. Um, so what you are building. So as Henry said, you can actually take all of this. Yeah, where is it? It's like here, copy it, then go to Lovable and just copy paste it. And that's maybe going to be good. But that's going to be good only for first time and only for kind of small scale projects. What we actually want is one for Lovable to be connected to our GitHub, which we're going to be so we understand what is the different versions of our product that we're iterating on. Like for example, right now we're going to upload this spec, but next time we would love to upload the another spec or like the change the visual somehow. And but we want still to keep the first version somehow in history. And GitHub is perfect for that because you're gonna have all the history, who and where, what was changed. So I encourage you to use GitHub as the core base. So once you've done with your spec in the ChatGPT, you go to Lovable and you do the following. So look at what I'm doing, and then you can repeat yourself. So you will need to go to Lovable and say create a completely blank project. Hit enter and wait until Lovable do their stuff. It's going to spend probably like half of your credit. So please go to Lovable, ask it to create a completely blank project. Why it's canvas, by the way. Oh, it's a blank canvas. I created something different. Please go and create completely blank project. That is it. Yeah, you have to see the kind of text on the like text field on the left side, the text kind of chat, and on the right thing there's something going to be cooking, like this, getting ready. And the idea is actually for creating the blank project is for Lovable to not do anything stupid that might be problematic for us in the future. Like they've did not create a specific kind of, structure of the data that we will not be using, or some, whatever, front loaded with some unnecessary stuff. Cool. So my thing worked, and I see the completely white page, and it said it's done. So I hope you have this as well. Just maybe you can hit a few more pluses if you're doing this, or at least if you're just hit the please go and create a completely blank project because that's already enough. Cool. We are literally one step apart from doing this in a spec-driven development, kind of in a nice way to vibe code our web page in a good way. What you now need to do, you go into the right bottom corner where there's a little kitty, and you click it. It is GitHub synchronization. And you just by clicking the most colorful button on every screen, you need to connect your GitHub account. Uh, you're gonna do click connect GitHub, connect GitHub. Uh, you're probably gonna be, yeah, if you already connected your GitHub, you're just gonna click yes, yes, yes. That's connecting, redirecting, GitHub organization, connected, continue, connect, transfer anyway. So like clicking the most colorful button every time, you just need to pair them. And at some point it says GitHub repository is under blah blah blah. It's ready. Cool. And then you can get back to your project. Go back. And if you now click on this little kitty, you're gonna see the something here that your GitHub is connected. And so we are on the final stage that we're now gonna go to GitHub. But I first want for you to connect those things together. And this is how you should be doing that. Not interacting with Lovable much, but interacting rather with plans in the GitHub. And then asking Lovable to just build whatever they see in the GitHub. So please hit plus once you connect this GitHub thing. Peter. So I probably need to understand like how many pluses are we waiting. So I believe a few people dropped out. I appreciate it's 2 hours already. Um, so I think they're going to be like maybe 3 or 4 people maximum. So I'll wait for probably plus from Henry, from Dennis, maybe from you as well. Yeah. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Oh, Matt, yeah, from you. Thank you. So like probably 1 or 2 pluses. I have this kind of tested thing, GitHub for myself opened up. And so the next thing you have to do is that to actually open your GitHub, just go to your GitHub. Cool. Yeah, we have 3 pluses. I believe that's already good. You go to your GitHub main page, click repos, repositories, and click you're probably going to have the only project here, which is something like black project, black canvas, black slate, or whatever. And you're clicking it. Cool. So I'm going to be counting 4 pluses as a success. So Peter, Dennis, so Henry and Matt. Essentially, once you're done with this integration, go to GitHub, kind of clicking then repositories. Uh, oops. Uh, yeah, repositories, clicking your project, and you're gonna see it's like a lot of files already here. And so this is something that Lovable just created. They already created the project, which is great. That's why I said that you should not even you won't be doing almost anything manually with GitHub, which was not the case 1 year ago, and even 2 years ago, and let alone 5 years ago. So Henry, Matt, any if you hit plus, that's good. If you have a problem, I can help you in real time. Plus, perfect. Okay, cool. So GitHub ready to go, Lovable ready to go. They all connected, Matt. Yeah, like you've connected them through this little thing. Matt ready to go. Connected. Cool. Peter, it looks like it didn't push it to GitHub for me. So you have to have this thing. So if you go back to Lovable and click the kitty, you're gonna see you're gonna have to have this kind of source, like almost URL type of thing here to that means that you're gonna have this in your GitHub. So if you, by the way, you can click this link, this arrow, and you're gonna get to this repository. Yeah, and click this Shakespeare's key kind of fresh start. Yeah. Do we also connect our Claude or wherever created the spec to GitHub? No, not yet. We don't need this. And by the way, I'm not sure how to actually can connect the API to GitHub. We were just chatting with this. It kind of it spilled out the spec, and that's fine for us. Cool. Peter also got it. Cool. So we're on your GitHub page. You need to click and just like watch what I'm doing, and then you can repeat. It's very easy. You do add file, create new file. Here in the top, you put the name file. Just have it PRD, which is like product requirement document. This kind of stands for product requirement document, used in corporations all the time. Essentially, a description of the product. So you've clicked add file, kind of check the name, and then here you just gonna where is that? You're gonna copy paste everything that the ChatGPT gave us, like here. Hit commit changes, commit directly to commit changes, yes, and that's it. We are done. I mean, practically, we just need to go and ask Lovable to build this, but essentially, you just got this file, which called PRD, which was created right now, and this is what you need to have. In GitHub, bunch of files, got an option to visit Lovable project and start prompting. So I'm not sure I'm following your question. So like I mean obviously you can go whatever you do anything on Lovable side, it's gonna sync with GitHub and all the changes gonna be here as well. But the cool thing is now they're versioning. And so for example, at some point you're gonna like, actually let me get to the page that I had 2 weeks ago. You're gonna go to GitHub and say, hey, pull the version that was like two weeks ago, and they all gonna store it here. Like so you need to upload this PRD. Once again, it's kind of add file, create new file, name it PRD or whatever you want, and just copy paste whatever you had on ChatGPT thing or on Claude or whatever you've created this. And once you're ready, hit plus and get back to Lovable, and we will finish it. I need to say that sometimes there was some people uh, that the next step might not work good because for some people Lovable did not sync as quickly with GitHub, and sometimes they don't see this document that we just created. It's just a matter of caching. So like if you're doing this over the span of like 15 minutes, it's definitely going to be there. But because we're trying to do this kind of as quick as possible, maybe for some of you, they're going to be like, hey, I'm not sure which file do you have, but you're probably going to see it in your, if you're going to get back to Lovable, that there was something happened with the file, and you're going to see this create and your file name. So Dennis is ready. You're back on Lovable. Actually, Dennis, yeah, the next step is the following. And for everyone who is doing this, you can just listen it. I'm going to repeat it once again, but you're going to Lovable and say, hey, go to my GitHub repo, locate the PRD file, and recreate the project exactly as it's described in this file. Treat this file as the key requirement documents. It's probably too verbose, but sometimes it's better to kind of back for a bit more. I sometimes tell something like, do exactly and implement exactly the thing that is stated in the PRD file. Before clicking, actually, the little tip here is that you can hit add to actually tag the file. And once you click like add symbol, you now can go and try to see. Yeah, now you see it doesn't see my PRD document right now, and that's okay. Once again, because it's just for the caching purposes. It's not been updated yet, so maybe just give it a few sec to think. Oh, by the way, I'm really sorry. I it's I screwed up a little bit. I'm really sorry. It's actually should be not PRD. It should be your name dot MD, meaning markdown. We need to specify the format for this. It's not massively changing anything. Lovable should understand everything what we've done, but for the to make it right, your name should end with .md, so .markdown. And you can see it kind of created from the file that was before, just a random kind of text with some dashes. It created actually the nice formatted document. So please, yeah, so sorry, get back to GitHub and just click this edit the file in the right top, and in the name, just append .md, .markdown. But for Henry, it worked either way, which is great. And it actually should work. So the models are already smart enough, but it's just for me being kind of maybe pedantic for that on that side. Um, Okay, whatever, PRD file, and I'm clicking this. So what is no? Thank you. Publish project. Yes. And so it's being built. Henry, if you don't mind, if there's not nothing kind of secretive of this, if you can share the link, it's going to be awesome. If it's not, if you don't want, absolutely fine. I just curious to see what the what the designs that we had. So this is my, where is it? So mine is actually working still, and I believe it's spending all the tokens already. But please, yeah, once you once it's worked, so it's a done, and you don't have this kind of black square. Uh, you just need to then hit publish, which gonna create the domain name and essentially the link in the internet that everyone can access to. But it's probably gonna take us still a few minutes to work it out because we have quite a lot of written here. For anyone who is listening to us, yeah, please also share your links. Henry, nice. I love this. That's very sleek. I really love the animation. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you. Let me have it opened. Um, in the meantime, I believe my page is also ready. Where is it? Dimitrowski. Yep. I hit publish, update, and let's see what I get. Actually, before the Lovable, you have to know so many things. If you're gonna click to like where's code here, you have to write all you have to create all those configs in JavaScript. Um, you have to create all the CSS. Yeah, here like the all the kind of style guides, and now you just clicking and it working. That's a magic. So this is my link. Primal Gleam Lovable app. Executive snapshot. Delivery DoorDash. I love Henry's side more. My is like a for from I don't know. No, maybe it's not as bad. No, I don't know. That's okay. Schedule a conversation. Cool. That's pretty cool. We actually, I believe this button is not clickable because I don't think we've described this in the PRD. So if I want to change something to it, I'm gonna go and take the oops and take this spec and passed it to probably to ChatGPT as well and said, "Hey, this is my current spec. I want you to update this spec, but make sure and add extra features. And the features should be like X, Y, Z, but make sure that you don't change anything much because like this is the core spec on top of which my Lovable is working." And so it's going to re-update the spec version 2. I'm going to go to GitHub, upload it, and said, "Hey, Lovable, I have a new PRD. Please upload it according to it." And that's it. So this is for this one for Matt. You have even a couple versions. That's cool. And with Dennis. Matt. Oh wow, Matt, I really love your stuff. Like with numbers. That's pretty cool. Oh wow, yeah, wow. That's this is the best, I think. That's that's really cool. I love it. Here we lost the number, but it's okay. By the way, I can show you how in Lovable to fix something quite quickly. And Dennis, it's very minimalistic. That's cool also. Yeah. So if you want to, uh, for that, probably you will need already a paid version of Lovable, which I mean, if you're not actively building something, I would kind of discourage you from. So like this, you every day you have this 5 credits, so you can every day come and do like some minor tweaks, and it's going to be okay. But if you want to change something, you oh that's little thing. You hit plus. For example, you want to change, I don't know. Let's see. I don't like the font of it, or I don't love the alignment here. So let's say I don't like a font here. So I'm gonna hitting the plus, and I'm then so either I'm doing the screenshot. By the way, it's working great. I'm just doing the screenshot of it and say, hey, pass it into the back into the context and say like, hey, fix whatever. It works flawlessly with screenshots. But what I wanted to actually show you is where is it? Yeah, I'm clicking visual edits. I'm not sure whether it's available in the free tier, but if you click visual edits, your cursor now can, I mean, the actual mouse cursor can point at various objects on the website, on the side. And I'm, for example, picking this block on this writing and thought leadership here. And I'm like, please change the font. I don't like this to be what is like italic. Yeah, change that. And so it gonna be this prompt gonna work only on this specific section, which is cool. And that's gonna change that section only. That is very important because before you had to essentially Lovable had to redraw everything from scratch, and sometimes various bits might be still changed even if you did not ask them to be changed. So that might be a problem. Okay, look, he uh, he rewrote everything. I mean, I'm just referring to he like it changed the font here, but did not change it here, which is exactly what I've asked for. Cool. So once again, visual edits is your bro. Cool. And now Simon. Let's see what Simon had. And oh, Simon, I think you did not republished. What you have to do is you have to go here, click publish, and then click update. Once it's updated, it's going to be updated on the actual website because the way it works, everything you're doing right now here, it's only here on the local version. And if you want to update the website on the actual domain with hosting, you have to do it separately to push it separately. And so you have to constantly think to whether to make sure that it's up to date. Apologies need to drop. Thanks all. Thanks, Matt. I mean, no apologies. It's 2.5 hours already, way beyond what we've expected. But yeah, I wanted for us to make it hands-on.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's been amazing.
Yep. Simon, by the way, please do update this because I want for you to have the actual working website. So once again, it's here. Make sure that it's kind of has up to date because I believe your link shares the kind of
Got
what
it.
is the
Thanks, man.
oh, nice. That's cool. Also very, very minimalistic. I actually love this. Um, I also picked the minimalistic style but it was not as minimalistic as here. That's cool. And get in touch. I believe it's not work. Oh no, actually, it actually mails. It does something. I can see the link mail to in your email, but I'm not. But it's nothing happening. Anyways, we can build it afterwards. Thank you so much. I believe with this we can wrap it up. It was un kind of unscripted vibe coding session for anyone who's seeing this. Yeah, hope you're gonna do the same and please share the links. For everyone else, thank you so much. I will get back to you with a summary of the things that you shared with me on the terms of requests. We'll get back to with the voting how we want to structure our space. And yeah, on Thursday we're gonna share with you the first homework, which is exciting. With this, have a good evening or day ahead.
Thank you, Dima. That was great.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks for participating. Thanks for sticking around. It's a marvelous retention after 2.5 hours. It is insane. Cool.
Your passion is infectious, Dima. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
evening. Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Nice. It's me and no takers. Thanks, and yeah, see you soon.